13 has arrived, and my gosh, I can't believe it's here. And so on this Thanksgiving Day, I want to give a shout out not only to all the listeners, to my subscribers, to the people who casually check in for college football, but also for the college football content creators out there. Folks like the Golden Blue Dude, folks like Uncle Lou, TikTok Chess Hall, Carolina Jackpot, Greg Flugar, 40 Acre Addicts. These folks truly make college football even more enjoyable. It's already the best sport in the history of civilization, but the content creators on YouTube make it that much better. So happy Thanksgiving to y'all. Hopefully you and everyone else is doing great today and this weekend. We've got a great weekend of college football. The premier matchup, though, is the game. Ohio State and Michigan. This will be Saturday at 11 a.m. Central on Fox. Currently, as of the time of this recording, Ohio State is favored by 7.5. I don't see this game being that close. Here's my reasoning. When you look at total offensive production in college football, Ohio State is ranked number 9 in total offense. Michigan is ranked number 23. And with the exception of their out-of-conference scheduling, these two teams have played basically the exact same conference schedule. Now, neither team have really loaded up their schedule with juggernauts. For Michigan, the only real quality win would be over Penn State. Ohio State has the win over Penn State as well as Notre Dame. But I think that offensive difference will be the key factor in this game. I've got Ohio State winning by a score of 35-17 at home over Michigan. Moving into Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, the Egg Bowl. This is one of those games where I've truly learned to appreciate in the past several years. And this particular Egg Bowl is especially intriguing because both coaches, Mike Leach from Mississippi State and Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss, both coaches are rumored to be leaving at the end of the season. Now, as far as destinations, no one really knows. A lot of people talking the Auburn job, especially for Lane Kiffin. There are reports, though, that Mike Leach might be interested in that particular job as well. So this game is very difficult to predict. No one really knows what's going to happen, which of course makes for good football. In this matchup, I've got Mississippi State winning on the road 23-17 over Ole Miss on Thanksgiving night. Moving into Friday morning, T+1. I love the Friday games after Thanksgiving. The early game, 11 a.m. Central, Baylor at Texas. This is actually a somewhat significant game in the Big 12 because if Texas wins, they still have a shot to make the Big 12 title game. I've got the Longhorns winning this matchup 31-28 over Baylor in Austin. Staying with Friday, we have Arkansas at Missouri, two disappointing teams from the SEC this season. I think in this matchup, Arkansas will do its best to try and salvage this year's campaign. I've got the Razorbacks winning 24-20 over Missouri. In the ACC, we have NC State at UNC. In this game, I've got the Tar Heels bouncing back and winning 21-18 over the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. And finally, Friday, UCLA at Cal. Now, curiously enough, the rivalry between these two institutions off the field, far more interesting than what's going to happen on the field Friday. The Board of Regents at UC currently debating on whether to, quote-unquote, allow UCLA to leave the pack for the Big, with the reasoning being that it could hurt the California Golden Bears. In this game, I see UCLA dominating, though. I've got them winning 37-24 over Cal. Moving to Saturday, we got Georgia Tech at Georgia. This one will not be close. There's just too much of a talent differential between these two teams. Georgia 45, Georgia Tech 21. Staying with the 11 a.m. Central slot on Saturday, but moving to the Big 12, we have West Virginia at Oklahoma State. There's a lot of rumors that quarterback for Oklahoma State, Spencer Sanders, is very disgruntled, and he's going to be portaling out of Oklahoma State at the end of the season. This could affect the outcome of the game. I'm not so sure, though. It's senior day in Stillwater. I think Sanders goes out with a bang and beats West Virginia by a score of 28-21. Moving to the SEC and ACC, one of the most curious games of the weekend. South Carolina at Clemson. Now, normally, in the past several years, you just pencil in Clemson as the winner of this game. But after last week's upset defeat of Tennessee, I think South Carolina's got a little something going. We'll see if that's right. I've got the Gamecocks winning 35-34 in a tight back and forth upset win over the hated Clemson Tigers. Moving to 2:30 p.m. Central, we go to the Iron Bowl in the SEC. This is always a classic game to watch. Unfortunately, Auburn is a program in disarray. I don't think this is going to be particularly close. I've got Alabama winning 42-28 in Tuscaloosa on Saturday. Going to 3 p.m. Central and moving to the Big 12, we've got Iowa State at TCU. TCU, their mission is simple: win and you are in. TCU will win this ball game by a score of 28-17 over Iowa State. They won't pick up style points, but again, all TCU does is win. 6 p.m. Central in the SEC, LSU at Texas A&M. Speaking of programs in disarray, my gosh, Texas A&M has fallen off of the cliff. In this matchup, I've got LSU winning 34-27 at College Station. At 7:30 Eastern, we have Tennessee at Vanderbilt. Horrible news for Tennessee. Hendon Hooker out for the season with a torn ACL. After a very devastating loss to South Carolina, I can't imagine a worse thing for Tennessee. I actually feel bad for Volunteers Nation right now because of what they've been through in the last week. Unfortunately, I don't see things getting better. I think Vanderbilt takes advantage of this opportunity and wins over Tennessee by a score of 31-27. 7 p.m. Central, Big 12 action, the Sunflower Showdown. We've got Kansas at Kansas State. Curiously enough, if Texas wins against Baylor, Kansas State loses against Kansas, Texas goes to the Big 12 championship game. How wild would that be? I don't see it happening, though. I think Kansas State is the better team. I've got them beating Kansas by a score of 35-27. Finally, the Pack After Dark nightcap, Washington at Washington State. In this matchup, the Huskies are just far too much for the Cougs to handle. Washington wins 38-14 on the road in Pullman. Taking a look at last week's predictions, I was a very mediocre 7-6, bringing the overall record to 99-47. So hopefully this week I improve a little bit. It has been a tremendous pleasure being with you all season long. I will certainly pop in for the conference championship games, the bowls, and the playoff matchups a little bit later on. Until then, though, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving weekend. You enjoy yourself immensely, and I say God bless each and every one of you. Talk to you later. Bye.